We're dads.
This is Dad vs. Dad podcast.
How are ya?
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, good. I was saying hi to them, but that's fine. The show where we make tiny problems into big mountains and you tell us that we're lying.
Or that we're right.
Or that we're right.
But I saw a fun news the other day.
Bringing in the news.
Bringing in a news because I found it.
The nudes.
Yeah. So Singaporean man sues woman for $3.24 million after she declined to turn their friendship into romance.
So what? He's like, I want out of this friend zone.
Yeah, he wanted a girlfriend.
And
she
if
declined.
Not, it'll cost you 3.4 mil.
Yeah, in all the pain and suffering he's going through forever because he'll never find anyone like her. And
why is it her fault?
Well, yeah.
Unless she led him on for like 10 years.
Even then, although maybe she did. Maybe she's like, oh, one day we'll be together, but not yet.
Yeah, and he's going, I've had enough. No, but
it's still dumb. It's still dumb.
No one has it. Although, Singapore?
Maybe he's got a case.
The thing is, you look at some of the cultures in some of those countries and it's like, you can only ever have one wife, or you could have 20 wives.
Yeah.
And technically he could have like 20. And she's like, no, you can't have me, especially if you're considering all these other wives. So he's like, fine, I want to have a wife. But she's like,
are they a polygamous country?
I don't know. I'm making assumptions. I don't know anything about Singapore. I don't even know where Singapore is. It's
north, I imagine, from us.
Asia?
It's in Asia.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He's the CEO of a drone racing company. He's about 30 years old.
So maybe the time that she wasted on him, and she was like, if you don't come and take me out to dinner, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
We're not gonna be a thing. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll miss the build or whatever. And it cost him a lot of money. And
yeah, it was a televised event thing.
Yeah. Is it Singaporean money though? Because sometimes they're like 3 million is
probably
like
30 cents or something.
$50, call it even.
And in other news, this news came up, which reminded me, Bill Cosby plans to tour in 2025.
It's so insane.
Oh man,
I heard this on the Tuesdays with Stories podcast, and I forget the joke that they made. Mark Normand was like, make sure you bring a pillow.
Oh, they always, yeah.
Cosby. Yeah.
They bring in some good ones about current events, better than our ones about them. We just
How the
steal
hell
their
do you
ones.
think Bill Cosby's stand-up would go, though?
Well, if it's anything like his original stuff, it'd be amazing and perfect and some of the best comedy ever filmed.
You know what?
I don't think he'll be that good anymore. I
Honestly,
don't think he'll repeat those early sets of his.
No, he wouldn't repeat all his early sets.
No, but I mean, like, he couldn't do as good as them, is what I mean.
He would have some amazing... Okay, here's the thing. Before everything happened, he was incredible. And you will admit, he was incredible.
Well, I don't know if he was incredible that late in the game. Like, I know his early stuff.
Early stuff was fantastic.
Amazing. His stand-up, some of the best I've ever seen.
And what he did for the black community was also amazing. Like, he brought in Black History Month stuff, and like, he really changed a lot.
He was bad to other comedians, though. Like,
he was
a
very
real
arrogant.
dick to Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. He was a white man.
Eddie Murphy.
Kind of similar. More similar suits, I guess.
Yeah. No, he really hated on Eddie Murphy. Like, Eddie Murphy was a huge fan. I'd go to see him and stuff, and like he'd do sets like after him and whatever. And like Bill would really shoot down like everything he was doing, just like really hate on him as like a kind of like there can only be one black person in this realm.
There was another black comedian around the same time.
Richard Pryor.
Not Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was with another dude as well.
Yeah.
But there was another one who was just like, there can only be one I think Hannibal, was it Hannibal Buress?
I don't know.
They kind of brought a lot of the stuff up.
I don't know.
He was pretty great. But think about it, right? Bill Cosby, in his prime, he was hilarious.
Oh,
He was a fantastic storyteller.
Yeah.
Now, what he did was not good.
No.
Not good at all.
No.
But he's a fantastic storyteller who's now been to prison
Yeah.
for crazy, crazy things.
Yeah.
He may have some incredible stories, and I
It'd be really
kind
good
of want to
stories.
hear them.
I would. Yeah, I want to see what it's about.
Like, I don't
At
want to hear.
least.
I don't want to support him. I kind of want to hear his story.
Yeah, if that's the only way you can hear it, you're just gonna have to fork over that $100 or whatever.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
All right, tell me your jokes.
All right, Bill, you're still funny. I still hate you though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chappelle had a good bit about him, like just after all this stuff had come out. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, he was a hero to him. Like,
He
and
was for
really
a
got
lot
him
of
into
them.
comedy and that. Yeah. And I can't remember his bit. He had a good bit though.
Okay.
Oh, it was about the superhero who got his superpowers from sleeping with someone. And so, like, if there was an emergency, he had to save the day. And sometimes, like, if you couldn't find anyone to sleep with, you'd have to take it so that you could go and save the day. And it was like this thinly veiled cover for, like, maybe some people were hurt, but Bill Cosby was amazing kind of thing.
It's
It's like, it's worth it to have him in our lives. Like, the good that he did outweighs the bad, which is probably not. But
You know what? I found it really
it's
hard.
to-
I found the Me Too movement and all of that stuff, because I'd say he was part of that, because that was during that era that all of these allegations and stuff started popping up.
Yeah, it probably came out about then.
So one of my favorite bands as a teen was a band called Brand New. Same thing, singer had allegations.
Yeah.
Now this singer was very, very open about it.
Yeah.
And he was very clear with the lyrics that he wrote. Like, he was like, I'm a piece of shit, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And teenage girls were singing it.
Yeah.
Like, they knew. You can read into it.
Yeah.
And they released their last album, and on that album cycle was when the allegations came out. And they're like, pull the pin on the tour. We just won't do it. And that was it. The band's over. Allegations out. He apologized. Brand New, dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, could you not have, like, I get it. It's so horrible. And this would have been the last chance you ever got to bring it out, to ruin a career. Good one, you cancelled them.
You could have done it after the tour.
Yeah, like,
After they'd made all that money so you can get more out of him.
Could have been good.
You
Well, I don't
idiot.
even know if they got anything out of it. It was,
Yeah,
I mean, if
don't
they
know how
did
those
the
kind
album tour, they might have been able to really...
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone got anything out of the Bill Cosby thing. I know he went to jail, but I don't know if anyone got any
Well, that's the
money
thing.
or
Like,
anything out of it.
So at that point, does it become a? You know how, like, if a certain amount of people are affected, it becomes what they call a civil suit, and
Yeah.
it's like everyone can have a piece of the pie because that's what it was. It's not a huge amount of money. Was Bill Cosby a civil suit because of how many people he affected?
I don't know. I don't know how many it was.
Everyone gets a bit of the pie of Bill's allegations.
Yeah.
Although, no, you can't say allegations if he was charged for it.
Yeah. I don't know what you call it then. His bad deeds.
Offense.
I don't know.
All right. Well, look.
Yeah, because you hear so many allegations that never go through. So you're so used to calling them allegations because it's like no one gets charged, no one everything.
Well, yeah,
So
because
they're always allegations.
it's thrown out into the public to say this is what people are saying.
Yeah.
That's the news. But when it's actually happened, it's like, whoa, that was real? Yeah. No one knew that was real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what are we on? How did we go last week?
Well, yeah, let's move on to our mountains. Last week.
All right, I'm jumping on Patreon.
Okay. It looks like Cat Smells might be the winner.
Cat smells.
Cat Smells. Because everyone can relate. They're awful. They're disgusting. They smell.
Oof.
Ugh, there's no worse smell than cat smells.
They are disgusting.
We had the most votes on both Reddit and
Patreon.
Although, it looks like humbleness. Apparently, that's a molehill, according to you guys.
Yes, it's a molehill. Who the hell complains about someone being humble? I hate it when people are kind of cool about things.
You've got to own your cool stuff.
Yeah,
And-
own your cool... Well, actually, I'm the
Wait a
least
minute.
humble person ever.
Oh, and the thumbnail for the 40s was also
Here you are.
a molehill. Obviously, that was going to be a molehill.
I'm disappointed.
We had a comment on that.
I
love all of the thumbnail pics.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Thanks,
'Cause, yes,
Sue.
they're all fantastic.
I guess, speaking of humble, so it was a shame. Here we are with our new little things to look at. So we did put some backgrounds
we
in.
forgot to even mention them.
There's Jeremy putting up pictures of Vera that she's
Well, they're not
painted
pictures of Vera. They're
drawn.
pictures that Vera has made herself. She picked the ones that we were going to display as well.
Yep.
And then
I picked a background with Batman
Kevin
stuff.
put up his Batman stuff.
And I was going to put up a record of a band that I wrote some music for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was
all
all
just
about
personal
me.
stuff.
That's very not humble, is it?
He's got 3 kids. Get it?
I was going to pit up. Yeah, I don't know.
He hates them.
Nah, I've got... The thing is, I've got, like I've got the artwork up there. And that's a drawing of a comic that was super special. And that's like at my work desk every day.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that I'm like, I want this here. I want to know why I'm here every day, to look at the things, to look at the photos.
That's your Maggie Simpson thing.
Do it for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my space for that. But when I come home, I want to look at how good I am.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate everything that I've done and achieved. I want to show the kids, look what I do for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so who won?
Yeah.
Cat Piss? Yeah, you
so
won.
Cat Piss won.
Yeah,
We
good
also... this is on humbleness. Jeremy, did you know that I have worked in a soup kitchen for 12 years? But you didn't know that.
I did know
even
that.
worked Christmas there.
I did know that.
I don't think I'm humble or anything. Well, no, you're not, because you just bragged about it. If you were humble before, you lost that title.
Now,
Officially unhumbled.
and then the next comment, I went and saw Fiona O'Loughlin last night. She's so funny. She's
I
never
doubt
changed.
that.
No.
Okay.
Carl Barron is funny. I do agree.
Although I haven't seen his new stuff, I don't know if he's still funny. And that was the point. But also, we did neglect to mention Auntie Donna, who might be the 3 greatest comedians of all time.
They are. And they do some of the greatest skits. And they had an episode recently on their podcast where they got Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, that's fun.
And just... So they gave him song lyrics. And like, this is what we would do with this song. The best one that they did, I can't remember what it was, but they had to explain every little bit of the song because it was like Australian slang. And it like wouldn't work in any context apart from if they'd explained it. So it was just really good. Very good. Now, I don't remember who Fiona O'Loughlin is.
She's probably unfunny. Well, all you have to know about her is her gender, and you know she's not funny.
I can't look it up now anyway.
And then my mountain this week, Jeremy drinking on the job. Stop it. And then I responded, Kevin made me do it.
You know what? I was kind of looking forward to the red wine this week. Because that buzz is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a good buzz.
It's a damn good
hits
buzz.
you at the right amount. It's not too much. It's not too little. It's just like...
It's funny, right? Bill Cosby used to have a joke about the different kind of like joys that you got from drunks.
Oh, yeah.
Like how you get it's like the beer drunk where you get a really heavy leg and you're trying to drag it along.
Yeah, like it sounds ridiculous when he explains them all and it's like, what are you even talking about? And then he does the walk explaining, like, oh my God. Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah. But you know, wine, I won't say drunk, wine drinking is very different to beer drinking. Beer drinking's very here. Whereas wine drinking's very here. It's like a warm, cuddly, warm drunk.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yep.
Whereas vodka's like, oh, fell off my chair. And it hits you real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And the bonus episode comments will leave.
Yeah, we'll talk
the
about
next
that on the
bonus
next
episode.
boner app.
Oh, and there was one other comment on YouTube. Can someone teach Kevin how to say Steve Buscemi? Which we are not going to. It's Buscemi.
It's not Buscemi. Steve Buscemi? Buscemi, that's why. Oh, I've got to look it up. No, I'm going to find it.
No, you're not going to. Let's move on. So my first mountain this week, because I won. I am the better dad. I'm the better mountain decider.
I'm upset.
Okay, I'm going to start with a pretty serious, heavy one. Okay. Picture this. Bright sunny day.
Bring me down.
You wake up. You have your coffee. Ooh, that brings on the first big morning poo for the day.
Okay.
You do your thing. You're on the toilet. Quite a big poo. You wee a bit as well while you do it there, as you do on the toilet, because that's just part of going to the toilet and doing a poo. Finish wiping and all that. Stand up, wash your hands, and then you need to pee. Why didn't that all come out while you were doing the poo? I hate that. Like... So, my mountain is having to wee after you've done a big poo. I hate it. Like, it just...
Have you ever had that? But that's like the weirdest relief. You've had that, right? It's like a really strange, good wee.
I don't know if it's any better than any other wee.
I don't know.
Like the same as like a busting wee, but it's just such bad timing. You've just washed your hands, you're all clean, and your body's like, you know what? Let's get them hands dirty again.
Have you ever done the wees where you just like lift up and go?
Yeah, sometimes.
They're fun.
Yeah.
They're dangerous. You
yeah, like to live on the edge.
Whoa.
Or like on your phone at the same time. Like watching a video and just like occasionally making sure it's going the right place. Okay. Yeah, those are fun.
Look.
It's just the worst timing.
Maybe you have cancer.
I could.
Maybe you need
and it could be
exam.
A problem. No, I feel like this has happened forever. This isn't like a new thing. It's always been a nice big poo. And some wee comes out during that.
So you reckon, I reckon what's happening is, for some reason, you and your poo time is...
Does that never happen to you?
No.
You just said it's the best wee when it happens.
Yeah,
it definitely happens to you.
Very rarely. Like, very rarely. I think maybe like once a year or every 2 years.
Yeah, it's not real often, but it's infuriating when it happens.
I don't think it's infuriating.
It's not like an every time thing. It is.
Because there's a joy to it. You're like, whoa, again?
Nah.
No, because I reckon...
If you catch it... Because it usually takes the amount of time it takes to wash your hands. It never happens like as soon as you do it and stand up. So you go, oh, sweet, and just turn around and finish the job.
I remember one time as a kid, I was sitting in the lounge room, and you're like, oh man, I gotta change positions. I just heard you yelling. It was so ridiculous.
Classic me.
Classic you.
Yeah.
No, it's not a mountain at all. If anything, it's a joyous occasion because it's so rare. You know, appreciate the things that you don't get often.
No, because it's a bad thing that happens not often.
You're just a cynical man.
Like, I don't get sick often. I don't appreciate that every time it happens. Like, oh, I love this day off that I'm not getting paid for.
This is a bloody good flu. Look, okay, I get that.
Look, I didn't bring any facts or figures on this. So that's about all I have to say on it.
I guarantee someone's probably going to come in and be like, Jeremy, you've got to check that. You have colon cancer.
You have butt AIDS.
Bades.
That's probably where AIDS go anyway.
In the butt? Well, generally, that's how people get it.
Not always.
No, eating monkeys, I hear.
Yeah. It was either eating them or fucking them.
That's Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
That was his best stand-up, right? That was his best one.
That was
Fame,
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably his best one.
Especially when he's talking about someone else's ego, and then he's like, "Oh, hang on."
The rest of them are all a bit the same. They're like the same. He covers the same topics. He'll do the same things. Be like, this religion, this child's nursery rhyme, this
But
other thing.
It's so. Yeah, they are the same, and they are all. I don't care what you think. I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
Cancel me, you can't. And that's his go-to every time. And they're all right. They're funny.
Yeah.
But they're all exactly the same. Whereas, like, you see other comedians like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
He has changed his style from this angry...
Yeah, less just angry.
He's become a dad. Like, there's a lot of growing with comedians like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Gervais is just ego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still like him.
I like
This
him.
is Coffee with Cars with Comedians episode. And he, they say like a controversial joke at the start.
Yeah.
I can't remember. One of them does. Probably Ricky. I think it's like a tag team joke. So they both made the kind of back and forth controversial thing.
Yeah.
It was like maybe a little bit racist or a little bit Nazi or
I think
whatever.
it was Nazi.
And much of the rest of the episode was discussing should we cut that joke, and like they talked a lot about like, like about cancel culture stuff and censorship and that kind of thing. And then in the end they decided, we will keep it in, which you knew all along because you heard the joke at the start.
Well, and the fact the rest of the episode wouldn't have made sense because they're like, should we cut it?
Yeah. Well, there's probably other footage.
We got nothing.
If they did cut it, I'm sure they talked about other things. Like, he spends the whole day with them.
It's so crazy how much people idolize Seinfeld. From every angle as well. Like, you look at his career and you go, I don't think he's got any material right now. I don't know.
No, he does. He just recycles everything.
Yeah, like he repeats his jokes. And he released one in 2019, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was brilliant. That was very, very good.
Yeah.
But he hasn't... I don't know...
Had a few old jokes and stuff in there.
Yeah. I don't know if he's come out with anything since.
Yeah, well, because he kind of treats it like this. They're still like... if you go to see a band or whatever, you want to see them do the hits, those jokes that you've heard before, and you're like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So I saw him... There's a show with him, I think Chris Rock... Gervais and Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Louis C.K. said like he completely wipes his set at the end of every year. Whole new set from scratch every single year. And so he's incredible.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld, he scraps maybe 20%. So he might scrap like a joke or two and just keep the rest and carry it on.
Here's a new one for you.
Yeah. But I mean, it worked for him. And the thing, like, for decades, he was the comedian. Like, if you're pretending to be a comedian, your delivery will be like, what's the deal with this? Like, you do the Seinfeld
Even Kramer
delivery.
does it on the show. He's like, what's the deal with airplane food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and like every time any show or any person or anything would make fun of comedians or like,
it was his delivery.
It was his delivery because that was the comedian forever.
He was incredible though. Like no one writes a joke like Seinfeld did. But so many comedians idolize him.
Yeah, well, because they got a lot of people into comedy. Because even having the comedy things in his show, which was crazy successful, and then seeing him do the little stand-up bits in between was like...
Yeah, that was part of...
cool.
That was like the best bit.
Yeah.
How did we go from...
We're talking about booze and stuff, and then Ricky Gervais because AIDS. So let's bring in your mountain.
Oh, no! Should have taken a Dexy.
Nah.
He gave me wine instead.
Oh, now the cat's out of the bag. They know you're drunk.
Have a bag. Bag of cats. Oh, alright.
We're not going to get a backup in this one, are we?
It depends. We might. We should. We should try.
I think we could try do one in the morning.
With all the cauldrons.
We'll see.
We'll see. Alright. This is, I guess, sort of similar to yours. In the sense that new bright sunny day.
Mm.
You wake up, you have your morning coffee.
Yeah.
You're on your way to work. You get to work. Like, man, should have pooed at home. And immediately...
No way. Okay, go on.
Okay, hang on. Okay, bit of context. I just started a new job. I'm not going to talk about what the job is or anything like that, but new job. You're in a room full of new people you haven't met. You're trying to understand the culture a bit.
Yeah.
Who they are, what they do, what you can say.
Yeah.
What's appropriate. So, you have your morning coffee. You drive to work. You get in the room. Probably should have gone from home. All of a sudden, you got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you're going, oh, it's a bit awkward. I don't want to be that guy to go. And the toilets are really close.
Yeah.
And if you get up halfway through a training session and it's the never-ending wipe, then you're going to be there a while.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you walk back in the room and it's like, he definitely took a shit.
Yeah.
So, mine is sore tummy in social settings. So you're in the social setting and your stomach is grumbling because you're like, gotta go. But this is uncomfortable.
No, you save your poos for work and stuff.
No.
And for any social outing. So you can be like, oh, cool, I can get a moment of peace. Or you can get paid to be on the toilet. That's a no-brainer.
It's not about that.
It is about that. You're getting paid to poop.
Look, there are times that's okay.
Every time.
In a new job I
save all of my poos for work. And I don't work every day, so I got to save them.
In training,
yeah,
when you are having to be there, you can't just gonna go.
I'll catch you up. Nature calls.
And you've never been in call center work, right?
No.
So when you're in call center work, the way that it works is you have agents on the phone. If you're not on the phone, then someone else is. So your teammates are getting all of the calls.
Yeah.
So
sucks to be them.
Well, they know you're out there wiping away.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
No, I'm
not.
I'm
proud of my...
I know you are. You're so uncomfortable with... I know everybody poops.
Yeah.
There's a book about it.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready to share that with the new training group. And not only that...
they might not poop. You don't know them very well.
It. They are... Every other training person is a female. They definitely don't poop.
They don't poop.
They don't poop.
They just sit in the toilet for 30 minutes and randomly light candles and... For some reason, the toilet always smells like potpourri after you got back in after them. Always. Yeah, they don't even have, there's no potpourri in sight. They went in without their bag, so it's not like they have, a little potpourri sprayer. And then just...
Potpourri was very big when we were kids, but I haven't seen it since.
That's because the women are hiding it somewhere. They've all got stashes of it somewhere when they go to the toilet.
They've all got it in their bag, and they're like...
Yeah, so as soon as they sit down, they put them up around the toilet, make their business.
Like little garlic bags.
Yeah. To
prevent vampires.
Yeah. And then when they leave, and you have to go after them for whatever reason.
This is delicious.
Why does it smell like potpourri? It reminds me of Grandma's house.
I don't know. Look, I don't think that's the case at all. I'm just so uncomfortable. Or I've gone into a meeting one-on-one with my boss, especially my last boss, talking to her about all right, I'm going to resign.
Yeah.
Having that chat, and your stomach's rumbling, and you're like, she knows. She knows.
They just say sorry. I'll come back. I got to have this talk later. How do you not know that far in advance? You've got zero window knowing that you need to poo and doing the belly rumbles.
Well, yeah, there's a time period, but I don't know.
How long was your chat with the boss that you didn't know? Were you in there for 2 hours? Oh.
No, I could have been on a call and then been here's this thing. Call went for 30 minutes longer than I wanted.
Yeah.
Chucked in the meeting. Hey, sorry. And then I can't be hold your meeting. I know you're very busy. I know you only booked out 10 minutes to have a chat, but I got to waste 20 because this is never going to stop.
Nature calls. It's part of life. Everyone knows that. That's why everywhere has toilets.
Look, you're not getting it. You don't understand.
Oh, it's just not a problem.
Well, it is a problem.
Nah.
You know that when you sit in that room and your tummy goes...
Yeah.
And that boss is looking at you in the eyes while you're like... You're trying to be really professional and your stomach is like... Oh,
but they
shit.
know it too, and they're just waiting for you to go, oh, I really got to go to the bathroom, and they're just kind of laughing on the inside, knowing that you're keeping that to yourself for whatever reason.
You ever do, like... You know those moments where you don't quite know someone well enough to fart in front of them?
Yeah.
You're not that sort of person.
Oh, no, I won't fart in front of a new person.
Right.
Although I don't... Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's just like you got to hold it. You're just not going to do that. So, that's the times that I'm talking, right?
Yeah.
It's like a time and place. So, maybe it's not a poo. Maybe it's a fart.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm holding that.
Oh, I don't hold them. You just try and do the soft ones. You're like, I reckon
Well,
I
what
can
if
get
you-
away with this.
Fill the seat. You're that guy that everyone's like, holy shit.
This place stinks.
Put some potpourri up.
Yeah.
We had one guy. I used to work in a call center part before I moved up to the collections and all of that. And there was like someone turned around and she's like, oh my God, someone's dropped their guts. And the guy behind her was he's like this awesome hippie dude.
Yeah.
Like the most fun-loving, sweet dude I've ever met. And it was like, I'm so sorry, man. That was me. And they just owned up. It was like, damn, that's awesome. He was also the same guy that, like, they used to do fridge clean-outs.
Yeah.
And someone threw out his lunch because it was green. And he's like, come on, man, it was a green curry. You threw out my lunch, asshole.
That's so good.
So good. Anyway.
We did not plan for this to be a toilet special.
Look, I'm sorry. Everyone knows that moment of like a new relationship. And that first night you go out on the date and you finally get in the car and you just blast that seat.
Yeah.
Fill it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
have a mountain, go.
okay.
Here I am.
I'm
talking
tossing
about
up
fucking farts.
my next mountain. Both of them are kind of toilet related. I'm tossing up between two right now.
All right, I'll do something different.
Okay. Now.
There goes that one. Okay.
All right. Now this one, it is toilet related. And I know a lot of people who are like this or in this position.
What?
Public servants. They are... I mean, the people who are public servants are usually nice, fine people.
Okay.
But the way the public service industry, I don't know what you call it, is run is awful.
Okay, yes,
It is horrendous. Like, a lot of the time, there might be 3 or 4 people doing one job where one person would manage it just fine on their own.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very inefficient system a lot of the time.
Very inefficient.
Costing the taxpayers heaps of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, it gives these people jobs. A lot of useless people. Some people are good. Like, some people in the public service are very valuable.
Yep.
A lot of people are just bludgers, and they know that public service jobs can be a bludge because you just share the work with dozens of other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
I'm 100% on board on... Look, I know that there's very, very important jobs in the public service. There's a lot. And how we spend our money as a country and all of the other extra bits and pieces that happen, right?
Yeah.
It's all very important stuff. In saying that, it is run by ego, and it's run by people who really want to make things... They really shit on the other guys to make their own thing really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
And as a result, one person gets promoted who really shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
The whole team does the bits and pieces and puts it all together.
Yeah.
One person gets it.
Well, there's so many people, they're so focused on climbing that ladder. And it's all very personal.
Yep.
It's not that they care about the country or they care particularly about that region of the public sector. They just want to climb that ladder and earn that money.
The ladder.
Yeah.
And although I do have friends who have made it pretty high in the public service and they go, this is enough for me. I don't want to go higher, because that's when shit gets weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's when the ego starts going, I might look up things on the computer that I probably shouldn't look at.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's they could probably scrap half of it. Scrap half the entire public service.
Mm-hmm.
That would save Australia a huge amount of money in tax revenue, which they could pass on to the bottom rungs. Like, I'm not going to get into income tax this time around, but we could eat half of public servants. We could probably have the tax-free threshold at least minimum wage. Those people should not be paying tax. Like, that's they might be paying like $3,000 to $5,000 a year in tax. That's a huge amount for these people making the lowest amount.
30k, 3k is 10%.
That's massive. Yeah.
It's huge.
It would make a huge difference on the life. All we have to do, scrap hundreds and hundreds of jobs from the public service.
Well, it is, and a lot of it is wasted resources as well. Like, you put these people on projects that don't end up working as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, trial and error is a real thing. You obviously account for that.
Yeah.
But I think what's happened is the government turn around and go, we need to put this much money into this. And then these companies go, oh, well, if we don't use these resources, we're going to lose them for next year, because then we can't claim them. So we have to make up for them. And then it's like, dude, if everyone actually said, no, we actually don't need that much, let's cut that by half.
Yeah.
Then we can start supporting things like, honestly, and I know there's a lot of people bludging the system.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of dole bludgers. But it is not sustainable to live on a low income from Centrelink, on JobSeeker. Like, it's $500
Well, even on regular, if you're
fortnight.
working, if you're not on Centrelink, you're not in, you've got a full-time minimum wage job, you're not earning enough to pay rent.
Absolutely.
Or
You know,
anything.
in Canberra especially, I think someone on JobSeeker could not afford a public rental by themselves.
Yeah. And also, because we have such a huge number of public servants here that earn a lot above minimum wage, it raises all of the rental costs and all that kind of thing. Like, we're one of the most expensive cities in Australia because so many people are in the public service earning way more than their peers.
In saying that, we are really lucky in the ACT to have a lot more support around the other areas that don't quite have it. So, for example, in the electricity and gas industry, we have a lot of support with, like, ombudsmans and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's more accessible.
Yeah.
Because, and I guess being a smaller state, we actually have more ability to maintain it that way. But also free financial counselling services and stuff like that, because the government knows, oh, holy shit, these guys are struggling. We're going to make it look like we're doing something.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing, having good public service roles, obviously keep those. the 50%,
of course,
the ones you're scrapping, get rid of the lower tier shitbags who aren't doing anything. All the bludgers.
Put the resources in gaps, you know. Centrelink could be run 20 million times better.
That's awful. And, well, the thing is as well, because a lot of these people, I don't know if you've ever done an interview or applied for a public service role, but a lot of the questions and stuff, they are not as much revolved around the role itself, but kind of the industry.
Yeah.
It is. And they really key in on certain words and things.
Yep.
Like, they'll ask you a question, you might answer it in a normal, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, okay. But then you reiterate it and be like, oh no, I find this area really, I don't know, I find myself really absorbed in this whatever. Like, you just use
The
the right
language is
words.
disgusting.
And you're like,
It's so
wow.
frustrating.
Oh, yeah, he used the right word. Yeah, he did it. He did it. Because it's a panel as well. You're sitting in front of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You say something normal, they don't understand.
Absolutely.
You add in all these extra adjectives, and they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Litigation. Ooh.
yeah, it's just so disgusting and robotic how it's run. And
all of them know it. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, this is dumb. Why are we doing interviews this way? This is not how we get people who are efficient in what we do as a workplace.
yeah. Well, I was talking to a guy, he came to my work. He was one of the lead developers on the new Centrelink stuff.
Mm.
Right? Because I talked to him a bit because he was looking at our system and the software and how we did things, and he looked at this little thing we did and like, wow, that's amazing. It blew his mind that we're able to do this with his phone. And it was like the most basic primitive thing. It's like, and you're like one of the lead devs on this public service role.
So insane.
You are so underqualified. That's why if you ever use any government websites, they're awful.
Awful.
Horrible
and
to
they
use.
hide shit.
Yeah. Recently, because I'm on Centrelink a bit, because I'm a poor boy,
Yeah.
they started doing this thing where it would automatically read your pay slips and fill in all the information itself.
Yeah.
Only every single time it did that, the system would crash. It couldn't figure it out properly.
So insane. And
So I'd have to go back through. I'd have to call them. Hey, look, you did this wrong. Like,
they
every
do.
port-
They do. Their system is so broken.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they put it in resources. Like, my new job is government.
Yeah.
And the system there is phenomenal.
Hmm.
Like, some of the tools that you can use is like, this is exactly what we need, and how to search stuff, and like,
Yeah.
you want that. You want something that's so efficient, quick, and able to run it to the best of its ability.
Yeah.
Because of the role I'm doing anyway.
And your industry, it needs to be on top of
Absolutely.
its game. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's good that at least they're getting that right.
But you would think that the people who, okay, and I'm kind of wide brushing here, but you'd think the people who are on Centrelink, who are generally the people who are struggling with mental health, low income capacity, educational issues, or disabilities,
Yeah.
you would hope that their system is functional for the public to use, considering their capacity to use it.
Yeah.
It's so insane to be like, okay, well, you might not be the smartest tool in the shed, but also, if you don't report, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I
They're all very frustrating systems to use and work around. It just, and all these people like paid so much money to put these awful systems in place. Like,
you know what kind of sucks? My next mountain was going to be rich people, but I think we've talked enough about the rich and the useless.
yeah, because then we talk about the really rich and useful. So you can bring in rich people if you want. But
No. That will be maybe that's a good thing. No, because I hate the influence that they have. I'll bring it in later.
Bloody Bill
Not
Gates.
today. We're not talking about toilet stuff and rich people.
Bill Gates was way too influential in his pro-vaccine stuff. Disgusting.
No, he was fantastic.
Yeah, and he got way too many people excited about vaccines. Oh, Mr. Rich Guy.
Well, you know what he did? Bill Gates was fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
He went and he was like, okay, well, kids in, I think it was Africa, are dying from diarrhea. And he's like, we literally live in this world,
Yeah.
and people are still dying from diarrhea?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So what he did was he actually created this toilet which would function itself to filter out clean water from the waste, which is solving the problem of fucking clean toilets, running clean water.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. That is the smartest thing that anyone has ever done.
Yeah.
To solve a problem in the world, like kids dying from diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Bill Gates. He's a top dude.
Yeah.
All right, well, seeing as I'm not talking about rich people...
3 toilet topics. You going to bring in a 4th toilet topic?
Kind of, because I don't follow the sport much, but I'm going to bring in something from the NRL, being that it's footy season again.
Okay.
Now, I was a big Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Until Thurston left.
Ooh.
And I haven't really watched a game since, apart from last year's final. Eels got ripped off, whatever. But I wanted to bring something in about the footy. Scrums.
Yeah,
scrums are a mountain.
They've been garbage forever.
Well, no, back in like the 90s, scrums meant something. And
Union still has real scrums.
Yeah, Union still has real scrums, but now...
We should probably explain what a scrum is.
Okay, scrum, imagine these are players from each team.
Not everyone can see. It's 3 guys shoving 2 heads up 1 butt. No, it's the other way around. 1 guy shoving 2 heads up 3 guys' butts.
Get in there.
And they're basically facing against another team who has 1 guy, 2 guys with 2 heads, 3 butts. And they're pushing each other. A ball is lobbed between them. And they're trying to push each other back so that the team who pushes the other team away, they get the ball.
Whoever pushes the hardest on their mate's butt gets the ball.
Yes.
Basically. Anyway. So
but one member of the team chucks the ball in.
Yep.
Now, this is where the issue is, I believe, that you can probably explain the issue.
No, the issue is not that. It's the fact that no one's putting their heads in butts far enough and no one cares enough. Basically, they group up. For those of you that can see, I've got my wiggly fingers on each hand. There's 5 fingers.
Yeah.
And they interlock.
Yeah.
They interlock. Someone puts the ball between the lock.
No, they don't.
Yes.
No.
They do.
No, they don't. And that's where the problem is.
What?
They say...
This is my mountain, dickhead.
Red team is putting the ball in. He just rolls it towards the red team side.
Yes, that's what's happening now.
Yeah, so it's
the scrums mean nothing.
It's that person... It's the person who lobs it in. They don't lob it into the middle. They roll it.
No,
through.
but the team who's lobbing, the opposing team to the person lobbing the ball in the middle are not pushing anymore. No one's pushing in a scrum.
There's no point because the ball just rolls through. If they're putting in all that effort to push it, they're not going to get it because the ball's rolled through.
But it used to make sense. They used to. And in Union, that's what they do.
Yeah, the ball has to go in the middle.
Yeah.
It doesn't in the other one.
I know. In NRL, they're not pushing the ball.
Because what's the
point?
All
it's doing is it's grouping up the players in one spot so that everybody gets a chance to group up and then have to spread out. Like, it's such a pointless
it is dumb.
tool for what used to be such an important and fun part of the game.
Yeah.
All those heads in butts.
Yeah.
Like, and now it's just, you see it and you go, what's the point? Why are you together?
Yeah. They should just, if they just banned rolling the ball to one side, then it would be a competitive thing. It would be worth pushing for.
Although, do you think they've had to cut it because danger, or maybe someone got their head
because
stuck?
they still do it in Union.
Yeah, Union, but Union's also not.
Why would they have different rules? Like, why would they? Oh, it's too dangerous for these guys, but it's okay for those guys.
Union is its own beast. Yeah, it's Union's a lot more intense. Union is like non-stop. They still have like the side throwouts and whatever. Like, it's all really, like, Union's a crazy game.
Yeah.
But NRL, it just seems a bit like, why'd you do it, guys?
They are dumb.
Why did you all group up, cuddle for a second, put a ball in, let go of your cuddle and run away?
Now, you might get 1 vote for this, but he's not going to listen.
He'll listen. He'll listen.
None of our other listeners watch sports.
Well, you know what? Go Queensland for when Original is on.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I think at the moment I'm going to follow Raiders.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I should.
How would you feel about taking this show live?
What, to a playground in Cootamundra?
No, to Twitch or something.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
It just means for anyone who wants to, they can join in live, they can comment live, and
Yeah,
that kind of
okay,
thing.
yeah.
So we can read incoming comments as they happen and that kind of thing, and
Look, that's
more interactivity there.
that's a brilliant idea in hindsight, and I'm all for it. But
That's a brilliant in hindsight. It's not like we should have done that back then. This isn't that's not a hindsight
what's
thing.
hindsight? So hindsight
is when
hindsight. It's behind us, and this could have been a better outcome if you'd done this. You're right. Hindsight is not the answer. Then the problem would be it's bloody 10:40.
Yeah.
We got the kids to bed, and then we got to start.
Scheduling's the issue.
Yeah, scheduling.
But it could just be different every week, and we can aim to do on the right times.
I mean, we could always organise things, but
better.
But yeah, look, there's a possibility, but let's put it to the people.
Maybe.
Alternatively, I wouldn't mind playing a game or something.
Because even if we're live, no one's watching. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a big part of the thing. It's just it is there.
Oh, we could get the time codes on there, so at least while Sue's watching the episode, she can bloody comment.
She can comment on the time code. Yeah.
Look, maybe.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible idea. Okay, well, in which case...
Or just us streaming games, like you said you wanted to do.
That'd be alright.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so this week, my mountains were sore tummy in social settings and scrums.
Yeah. And my mountains were needing to pee just after you've pooed and public servants. I'm surprised you got so on board with that one.
Public servants?
Yeah. I was expecting you to be all oh no, they're all the people need jobs and
No, because I've worked through hardship. I see on the other side, I see that there's a lot of issues there.
Yeah, and
So-
I know personally people who are in the public service or who were in the public service who did have an important role. And if anything, they probably needed more people.
Look, absolutely.
There are areas like that. But then there's a lot, for every one of those areas, there's another area.
I've heard many people who are I was bored in my job in the public service. But then I've heard people who are I'm flat out all the time. I love my job, but every other department here has no clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So it's just one of those things where no one is investigating or no one's spending enough time in one area at a time to be look, these are your issues. This is how we're going to fix them.
Yeah.
Because the head honchos who are running that shit are the guys who are really just not.
You're looking after themselves.
Yeah. They're I'll get John, my mate, in here and he'll just hang out and get paid a squillion.
Yeah.
Sick.
I feel like there's a lot more, in a lot of the private sector areas, there's a lot more pride building and that kind of thing in the company and that kind of thing. Depending on the company, some of them are awful. But there's been a lot where they just, the managers are into it. They care about the company. Their managers care about it.
The thing
there are obviously companies with just climbers in there, but
I've seen a million people. One of my good friends was in the public service for a long time. He'd go from public service job to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah.
He's one of those people who sees a fault and goes, hey, we could do this and this will work a lot better.
Yeah.
One of those people who wants to fix the problems that he sees. But knowing the way the public service runs, he does that and go, not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's all this wasted energy. And it's I was working so hard, I worked so well, and I got nowhere because I wanted change. I didn't run with their bullshit.
I used to be like that a lot in a lot of areas, industries I've been in, a lot of jobs. I was see things this would be so much smoother if we did this, or whatever. But I have since learned to care a lot less.
Well,
just enjoy your job. If you do see some glaring fault, maybe bring it up to someone. But you just kind of go with it. Enjoy the work.
One thing I loved about my last job, before I left, I was creating this calculator.
Yeah.
Right? Through Excel. which would change a lot of issues within the company and how we run things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to see that finish until probably next year.
Yeah.
But the way I'd written out the document and everything was like, that's going to change a lot and help the company and help people. So that was one thing I really appreciated, but it's the other times where it's like, you know, that was a private company, so they do care about that, and being a retail thing, they want to. Yeah.
I'm going to draw us as toilets in the thumbnail.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Looking forward to it. Basically toilets with our facial hair.
Oi.
Yeah.
Just before if this is the toilet special. Oh, fuck. Toilet special, really?
Speaking of toilet special, went to do a number 1 earlier. And there was one of your spawn had left a giant number 2 in there. No attempt to flush, obviously.
I don't get it.
I'm not even sure they wiped. There was no toilet paper in there.
Oh, God.
So, check out for skiddies.
I've found undies in cupboards. What are you doing? Just put it in the wash, I'll fix it. Why? Why do you do this? Anyway, Vera had the best thing ever today. So the go like this.
But she didn't. Rusty did that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did that first. Remember?
Oh yeah, was it him that came up with that?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it on a show or a movie or something not too long ago. I'm pretty sure Vera saw it too.
So, all right, I'm just going to explain what it is. So basically, it's like this. Yeah, you got your hand.
You have your hand over your other hand. One hand being like a barrel of sorts.
Yep.
And the other hand being a lid on top.
And then it's like, you ask the other person to lift the lid. So they lift the lid. And then they say, put your finger in there. And it's like, put their finger in the barrel type thing.
Yep.
Then pull it out.
Yeah, put your finger in.
Yep.
Push it around.
Yep.
Pull your finger out.
Close the lid. And then what was the result?
Thank you for cleaning my toilet. I saw Rusty do it first, but Vera might have introduced that. I don't know.
I don't know. It was very fun, and I'm very proud of them.
But I've definitely seen it on... I can't remember what it was, but we've seen it. There's a kid doing it. Yeah.
Home Alone, probably.
I'm thinking Home Alone, but I'm like, no, it's not in those.
It's not.
Not in those.
Look. We'll find it.
Yeah. Anyway, this was a very rambly one. I hope you had fun.
I'm so tired, dude. I should have taken Dexy.
Yeah. I don't know if we can do a backup tonight.
I'm so tired.
But also, I think on the next weekend's fine. The weekend after, I'm at Dad's.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Hunger.
Hungries.
What?
Bye, Hungries.
We're Dad's. I'm really tired.
Yeah, I don't think we can do a second one.